my channel. So our topic for today is steady state analysis, mesh and nodal analysis. So before we proceed with our discussion, let us have some words of wisdom for today. So this one, try and keep on trying until that which seems difficult becomes possible, and that which seems only possible becomes habit and a real part of you. So for the AC steady state analysis, we have some steps here to analyze the AC circuits. First, we have to transform the circuit to the phasor or frequency domain, solve the problem using circuit techniques like nodal analysis, mesh analysis, superposition, and other circuit theorems that we have discussed during DC circuits. Transform the resulting phasor to the time domain. So frequency domain analysis of an AC circuit via phasors is much easier than analysis of the circuit in a time domain. So first analysis that we'll be discussing for today is a nodal analysis. As we know, basis of nodal analysis is the Kirchhoff's current law, or the KCL. Since KCL is valid for phasors, we can only analyze AC circuits by nodal analysis. Remember, current entering equal to current leaving. So in this case, we have the node VT, so IS is equal to IL plus IC. Now we have your sample problem. So find Ix in the circuit using the nodal analysis. We have the voltage 20 cosine 40, resistors 10 ohm, inductor 1 Henry, capacitor 0.1 farad. Then we have here a dependent source which is 2Ix and an inductor 0.5 Henry. Let us solve the problem for this circuit. Let us first assign the nodal voltages. Let's say we have here the V1. And then here is the V2, and then let's assume the direction of the current. So let's say the current is from the voltage source up to the node V1, and then current here is from V1 to V2, and then current here is going to the ground. And of course, since our inductors and capacitors still not in the reactance equivalent, so let us first get the reactances. So this will be equal to J omega L. So J times our omega given is found here. So this is our omega, or the angular frequency. So J times 4 times L, which is 1. So we have here J4 ohms. Then the 0.5 Henry, we have J times 4 times 0.5, or equal to J2 ohms. And then for the 0.1 farad, we have 1 over J omega C, or that's equal to 1 over J times 4 times capacitance, which is 0.1. Okay, so that would be 1 over J times 0.4, or 4 over 10, 10 over 4. We have negative J 2.5 ohms. Okay, since we already converted the inductance and capacitance to the respective reactances, we now proceed with the equations. So let us first consider the V1. Okay, so we have here current entering from the voltage source. So let us write 20 minus V1 over 10 equal to current leaving, which is V1 minus V2 over J4, plus another current leaving is the Ix. So let's multiply both sides by J4 and 10. So we'll have J4 times 20 minus V1 equal to V1 minus V2 times 10 plus Ix times 10 times J4. So we'll have your J 80 minus J4 V1 equal to 10 V1 minus 10 V2 plus J40 times the Ix. So let's transpose the V1 and V2 on the left side. So we'll be having negative J4 minus 10, that's V1, and then plus 10 V2 equal to J40 Ix minus J80. Let's check. Negative J4 minus 10V1 plus 10V2 equal to J40 Ix minus J80. Now we have here the Ix, but Ix is actually equal to V1 over negative J2.5. Since this part, we can get the Ix via Ohm's law. Yan. So let us substitute this value of Ix in this equation. So we have negative J4 minus 10 V1 plus 10 V2 equal to J40 times V1 over negative J2.5 minus J80. So let us simplify. Negative J4 minus 10 V1 plus 10 V2 equal to J40 divided by negative 2.5 G. That would be negative 16 V1 minus J80. So on the left side, we'll be having negative J4 plus 6, since negative 10 plus 16 is positive 6. So this is V1 plus 10 V2 equal to negative J80. So this will be our first equation. Now for the second equation, at V2, current entering is equal to V1 minus V2 over J4 equal to this 2Ix. 2Ix is current entering, so this will be plus 2Ix, Then current leaving is V2 over J2. None. Now let us substitute also the value of Ix here. So you have V1 minus V2 over J4 plus 2 times V1 over negative J2.5 equal to V2 over J2. So let us simplify. We have here negative J 0.25 V1, since V1 over J4, that's V1 times 1 over J4, and 1 over J4 is equal to negative J 0.25. Then this will be positive J 0.25 V2, and then 2 over negative 2.5 J is equal to 0.8. J B1 equal to, this is 1/2, so negative J 0.5 B2. Okay, so let us transpose all B1 on the left side. We have negative J 0.25 B1 plus 0.8 J B1 equal to negative J 0.25 B2 minus J 0.5 B2. So we have 0.8 minus 0.25. We have 0.55 B1 here. And then on the left side, we have negative 0.25 minus 0.5. So we have negative 0.75 V2. Therefore, our value of V1 is equal to negative 0.75 J divided by 0.55 J. And that's equal to negative 15 over 11 B2. This will be our second equation. Okay, so let's first write the equations that we have already got. Negative J4 plus 6 B1 plus 10 B2 equal to negative J80. So this is our first equation. Second equation is B1 equal to negative 15 over 11 V2. Let us substitute the equation number 2 to equation number 1. We have negative J4 plus 6 times negative 15 over 11 V2 plus 10 V2 equal to negative J80. So, we can factor out the V2. We have negative J4 plus 6 times negative 15 over 11 plus 10 equal to negative J80. Therefore, our V2 will be negative J80 divided by this expression, negative J4 plus 6 times negative 15 over 11 plus 10. So let us type this in our calculator. Negative 80J divided by negative 4J plus 6 times negative 15 over 11 plus 10. So our answer would be negative 13.2 minus J 4.4. But this should be in polar. So let us convert into polar form. So this is equal to 13.92 angle of negative 2.82. Let's check if this is in degrees. So this is in radian, but we need to get the answer in degrees. So in degree, we have negative 161.57 degrees. volts. So this is our V2. You can actually store this value in your calculator so that if you get the value V1, you'll have the exact or accurate answer. Now for the value of V1, we have negative 15 over 11 times V2 with negative 15 over 11 times 13.92 angle negative 161.57. So this will be equal to 18 plus J6, or in polar form we have 18.97 angle 18.43 degrees volts. And then for the value of Ix, so Ix is equal to V1 over negative J 2.5. So this will be 18.97 angle of 18.43 divided by negative J 2.5. So our Ix will be equal to 7.59 angle 108.43 degrees in unit ampere. So we have here another sample problem for nodal analysis. So using nodal analysis, find V1 and V2. So note that we also have here a dependent voltage source, the 3Vx, and Vx is here, and as you can see, Vx is equal to V1. Alright, so let us first convert the 0.2 farad and 2 Henry into its respective reactances. So 0.2 farad would be 1 over j omega c, and omega, or the angular frequency, is equal to 2. So let's say j2 times 0.2 will be equal to negative j 2.5, and then 2 Henry would be j omega l. That's 2 times 2, or equal to j4. Now this JVX is actually 3V1 since Vx is the voltage drop here in the 2 ohms, and Vx is equal to the nodal voltage here, which is V1. Now for the assumption of the direction of current, so current here is going down to the ground, and then since this is positive, current here is going to the left, and then let's say the current here is going to the right. Now let's consider the equation from the nodal voltage V1. Current entering is equal to 30. Current leaving is equal to V1 over 2 plus V1 minus V2 all over negative J 2.5. So this will be 30 equal to 0.5 V1 plus J 0.4 V1 minus J 0.4 V2. So this will be 30 equal to 0.5 plus J 0.4 V1 minus J 0.4 V2. So this is our first equation. For the second equation, let's consider the V2. So current entering is equal to V1 minus V2 over negative J 2.5 plus 3v1, so this one, minus v2 over 4 equal to the current living, which is v2 over j4. So let's simplify. This would be j 0.4 b1 minus j 0.4 b2 plus 0.75 b1 minus 0.25 b2 equal to negative j 0.25, and this is v2. So on the left side, let's have the v1 plus j 0.4 plus 0.75, and then the right side we have the v2, which is multiplied by negative j 0.25 plus j 0.4 and plus 0.25. So simplify this v1 equal to j15 or 0.15 plus 0.25 all over j 0.4 plus 0.75 b2. So we'll have answer which is equal to 0.34 angle 2.89 v2. So this is our second equation. Now we can substitute the second equation to our first equation to solve for the value of v2. So let us substitute j 0.4 b1 minus j 0.4 b2. So 30 equal to 0.5 plus j 0.4. b1 is 0.34 angle 2.89 b2 minus j 0.4 b2. So v2 would be equal to 30 divided by 0.5 plus j 0.4 times 0.34 angle of 2.89 minus j 0.4. So v2 is equal to 99.07 angle of 57.12 degrees volts. So you'll get this exact answer if you will store the second equation. Let's say you will store it in A in your calculator. So next, we'll proceed with the value V1. So that is 0.34 angle of 2.89 times 99.07 angle of 57.12. And so this is equal to 33.98 angle of 60.01 volts. Okay, so this is our V1 and V2. So next, we have your nodal analysis, finding V1 and V2, and then as you can see, we have here a voltage source in the middle of V1 and V2. So as you can remember, if this is the case in our circuit, we will apply the super node. Okay, so how do we apply the super node? Let's just treat this as the super node. And then consider the direction of the current. So the equation of the nodal supernode here, so this is positive V1 then minus V2 equal to 10 angle of 45. This is our nodal supernode equation. And then for the overall equation for this supernode, we have current entering, which is equal to 3 equal to currently being V1 over negative J3 plus V2 over J6 plus V2 over 12. Okay, so we can multiply both sides by J12. Okay, say that's multiplied by J12. We have here J36. Then this one would be negative 4B1. This will be positive 2B2. And then this will be plus JB2. Right? So, simplifying, we'll have 4B1 minus 2B2 equal to 2B2 and then minus. So, be minus JB2 equal to negative J36. Yan. So, 4B1, so negative will be positive. 2B2 will be negative, and then JB2 is negative JB2, negative J36, so on the right side. So, we have here 4B1 minus 2 plus JB2 to negative J36. So, this is our second equation. It's our first equation. Okay, so we can multiply this first equation into 4, multiplied by 4. So this will be 4B1 minus 4B2 equal to 40 angle 45. So why do we do that? So 4B1, let's write the second equation here. 2 plus JB2 equal to negative J36, and then let us add 4B1 minus 4B2 equal to 40 angle 45. So in this case, instead of add pala, we can just subtract. So B1 will be cancelled. So negative 2 plus JB2 plus 4B2. So negative 2 plus J plus 4. So B2 equal to negative J36 minus 40 angle 45. Yan. So, B2 be equal to negative J36 minus 40 angle 45 divided by negative 2 plus 4, that is positive 2. And then, minus J. So, B2 is equal to 31.41 angle negative 87.18 volts. Then for the V1, so let's just use the first equation. V1 is equal to 31.41 angle negative 87.18 plus 10 angle 45. So V1 is equal to 25.78 angle negative 70.48 volts. And so that's how we do the super node. So next topic is the mesh analysis. So this is actually the same with the mesh analysis we used during DC circuits, but this time we're dealing with complex numbers. So as a recap, mesh is the smallest loop around the subset of components in a circuit, and multiple meshes are defined so that every component in the circuit belongs to one or more meshes. So in nodal analysis, we use the KCL. So for mesh, we will be using the KVL or the Kirchhoff's voltage law. So steps in mesh analysis. First, we have to identify all the mesh in the circuit, label the currents flowing in each mesh, label the voltage across each component in the circuit, write the voltage loop equations using KVL, use Ohm's law to relate the voltage drop across each component to the sum of the currents flowing through them, and then we have to solve for the mesh current. Once the mesh currents are known, calculate the voltage across all of the components. So let us apply that steps in the sample problem. So we have to determine here the current IO. So current IO is here. And as you can see, this is similar with the mesh current I2, but in the opposite direction. Therefore, we can say that IO is equal to negative I2. So IO would be equal to negative I2. So we have three mesh, so we'll be having three equations, three unknowns. So a bit here. So let's first consider the mesh in I1. So at I1, so we have I1 times 8 plus J10 minus J2 minus the current common, the mesh current that will also be flowing with negative J2. We have I2 that would be negative, so negative J2 minus I3. So I3 is flowing also in J10. Then we don't have any source here, so equal to 0. So this would be equal to I1 times 8 minus 8 plus J8. Then plus I2 times J2 minus I3 times J10 equal to 0. But as you can see, I3 here, we have the current source 5 ampere, and as a rule, if there's a current source in the same loop as the mesh current, automatically the mesh current will be equal to the value of the current source. So I3, also the same direction of the current source, so this will be equal to 5 amperes. So we can substitute it here. So we have I1 times 8 plus J8 plus I2 times J2 minus 5 times J10 equal to 0. This will be I1 times 8 plus J8 plus I2 times J2, and then let's just transpose, so we'll have J50. It's our first equation. And the second equation, let's just consider the loop I2. This I1 looks 2. And so for the I2, so I2 will be positive, and then the components we have 4 minus J2 and then minus J2. Then for the I1, we have common component which is negative J2, And then for the I3, we have the common component, which is negative J2 also. And then we have here the source. So for the source, it's negative 20. So let's simplify. I1 times J2 plus I2 times 4 minus J4. Then I3 would be equal to 5 times negative J2 equal to negative 20 angle 90. So it will be I1 times J2 plus I2 times 4 minus J4. Then negative 5 times J2, that's positive 10J. Then we will transpose. So this will be negative 10 minus 20 angle 90. So I1 times J2 plus I2 times 4 minus J4 equal to negative 10 . This will be negative J30. Second equation. So let's just simplify second equation. You can see that second equation is I1 equal to negative I2, 4 minus J4 minus J30 all over J2. So I1 is equal to negative 4 minus 4 divided by, it is I2 times 2 plus J2, and then negative 15. Yan. So let us substitute this second equation to our first equation. So I1 times 8 plus J8 plus I2 times J2 equal to J50. Substitute the second equation. We'll be having I2 times 2 plus J2 minus 15 times 8 plus J8 plus I2 times J2 equal to J50. So simplifying, we'll have I2 times 2 plus J2 times 8 plus J8 minus 15 times 8 plus J8 plus I2 times J2 equal to J50. So factoring out the I2, we'll be having 2 plus J2 times 8 plus J8 plus J2. And then on the other side, we'll have the 15 times 8 plus J8 plus J50. Alright, so we'll have I2 now to be simplified. It's 15 times 8 plus J8 plus J50 all over 2 plus J2 times 8 plus J8 plus J2. Okay. So I2 is equal to is equal to 6.12 angle negative 35.22. Then I0 is equal to negative I2. Therefore, this would be I0. So, on this case, we have to multiply the I2 by negative 1. The angle will change. And this is equal to 6.12 angle of 144.78 ampere. So this is the value of our I0. Next, determine VO in the circuit using the mesh analysis. So we have here a current source in the middle of two mesh. So in this case, as you can remember, we have to apply super mesh. Okay, so this will be our super mesh. Then let's assign mesh currents. Say this is I1, this is I2, this is I3, and this is I4. So I4 is equal to negative 3 ampere. And then for the super mesh, we have same direction with I2. So I2 minus I1 equal to 4. Okay, and then we'll consider this a super mesh. Okay, so let us first consider the I3. At I3. So I3, so common with I1, 8 ohms. Then positive I3, we have 8 minus G2. And then for I4, so negative, common is negative J2. And then positive 10. So we have here negative 8I1 plus I3 times 8 minus G2. And then I4 is equal to negative 3. So we'll multiply that. And then negative 8I1 plus I3 times 8 minus J2. This will be positive 3. So negative G6. And then transpose. So positive G6. First equation. And then in the super mesh equation, we have I1 negative J4 plus 8. And then positive I2, we have 6 plus J5. And then common with I3 to 8. And then common with I4 to J5. And then we don't have voltage source, so equal to 0. We have I1 times negative J4 plus 8 plus I2 times 6 plus J5 minus I3, which I3 minus I3 times 8, and then I4 is negative 3. So times J5 equal to 0. So I1 times negative J4 plus 8 plus I2 times 6 plus J5 minus I3 times 8. This would be positive 3 times J4 is J15. So negative J15. Okay. Mm. So we need to solve the value of I3 to solve the value of BO. So we have here the second equation, I1, I3, the first equation. Then second equation, we have I1, I2, I3. Then we also have here another equation, the I2 minus I1 is equal to 4. So, can use I2 is equal to I1 plus 4 and then substitute this one into the second equation. So that we will have I1 and I3. So I1 times negative J4 plus 8 plus I1 plus 4 times 6 plus J5. Is that correct? Yes. Minus I3 times 8 equal to negative J15. Okay. So this will be I1 times negative J4 plus 8 and then I1 times 6, 6I1 first outer, J5 inner, 24 and last 20 equal minus I3 8 equal to negative J15. Simplify, we'll have I1 times negative J4 plus J5, J, and then 8 plus 6 is 14. Mm-hmm. Minus I3 times 8. Then on the other side, we'll have positive J20 minus J15 is J5 and then minus 24. Okay. So we now have two equations. We have to cancel out the I1. We have to cancel out I1. So see I1 here. Don't have space. So going back on the second equation, I1 times J plus 14 minus I3 times 8 equal to J5 minus 24. So I1 is equal to I3 times 8 plus J5 minus 24 all over J plus 14. So let's go back with the first equation. Substitute this. 8 1 plus I3 times 8 minus J2 equal to J6 plus 10. So negative 8 times I3 times 8 plus J5 minus 24 all over J plus 14 plus I3 times 8 minus J2 equal to J6 plus 10. So let's simplify this first. We'll have negative 8. Let us multiply na lang pala both equation by J plus 14. So I can cancel this one. So I will be having negative 8 times I3 times 8 plus J5 minus 24 plus I3 times 8 minus J2 times J plus 14 equal to J6 plus 10 times J plus 14. So this will be negative 64I3 plus, minus J40. And then this will be negative 8 times negative 24 is positive 192. Okay. Plus I3 times, let's multiply the 8 minus J2 by J plus 14. That's equal to 114 minus J20. Then J6 plus 10 times J plus 14. That is equal to 130 plus J150. Okay, so I3 on the right side will be equal to I3 times 114 minus J20 minus 64. And then on the right side we'll have 130 plus J150 minus 192. Alright, so this will be I3 equal to 130 minus 192, that's negative 62, plus J150 all over 114 minus 64, that's 50, minus J20. So I3 is equal to 3.01 134.26 degrees ampere. So VO, this VO is equal to, so positive, it's I3 minus I4 times negative J2. So VO is equal to 3.01 angle of 134.26 minus minus negative 3 multiplied by negative J2. So our VO will be equal to 4.67 angle negative 22.55 degrees volts.